I'm just stating facts.
Have you? Okay, this is like lowbrow. This is why you guys have 170 Dave Rubin videos. Do you think the average person cares about Dave Rubin?
No,
but you guys get clicks by doing it. Hey, how about you guys run a video about how Tim Pool got into an argument with a pro-lifer about how he's in favor of pro-choice policy? You didn't run that, did you? Because you guys are grifters. This is what you do. I can invite you on for a real conversation, and what do? Your show's for neo-Nazis. This is why you guys don't get invited places, because you're not having real conversations.
I don't really care about getting invited places.
Yeah, right. So go live in your grifter echo chamber where you guys can play songs with bad audio and then say, whoopsie.
I'm sorry, that audio thing really upset you.
Tim Pool's really angry that his music sucks, and he's mad that a woman had the nerve to tell him that. So Emma Vigeland, God bless her, did a fantastic takedown of Tim Pool after he invited her on his podcast. It was supposed to be a debate on policy and political issues. Some of it was, but it really ended with him taking his rage out on Emma personally for MR's coverage of him, particularly when they compared his music to Nickelback. In another exchange, Tim was really angry that Emma brought up the fact that the Allen, Texas mall shooter was a fan of his and his show, and he flat out denies the screenshots that confirm that. He called it a conspiracy theory and then had to walk it back. And later he said he was glad that it happened, which is a really messed up thing to say. And it's really easy to attack you, Tim Pool, when you say that you're glad that a mass shooter was a fan of yours. I digress. He's really not doing well at beating the Nazi allegations as much as he would like to. Our good friend Dan from the internet posted this helpful picture to show Tim Pool in a lineup sitting around a picnic table, and it points out every single Nazi, and then Tim desperately attempting not to be seen in a photo with all of these Nazis making their Nazi hand signs. Now, after the debate where when Tim was done having his temper tantrum, he said that he was just looking for sound bites to use of Emma to promote his agenda, and that the left wants pornography in schools or some save the children ridiculous propaganda. Here, you can give it a listen.
This was
come on.
The claim that you made.
Let's hear it.
I believe that your program appeals to a right-wing audience. And there's a reason that the neo-Nazi shooter watched your program.
And how do you know he watched the program?
Because he posted about it.
What did he post?
Tim.
What did he post?
He posted
about why I want to do shows like this. I do not believe we will convince Emma or anyone at the Majority Report or any liberal or leftist of any of our positions, but I don't care. What I think is important is that we produced a show where Emma said that she wanted children to be able to watch porn at the age of 10 years old. And so I'm like, I don't need you to argue that point to me. I don't care. What I need to do is when I'm talking to my friend from back home in Chicago who's telling me it never happened, I'm going to play that clip of me being like, we should not be showing a book to children that contains blowjobs, and have this person on the left say, we should, and it's fine, and they're okay with it. And I'm like, that's all I needed. I needed for you to say it so I can prove to people you believe these things. I just need you to say it. Say it right there to the camera for everyone to watch, so that finally, when I go to my friend and say, these people want put porn in schools, they'll say, that's not true. And I'll be like, let me play the video for you.
Jessica, I'll let you respond to what he said, but I just had to say, he said, when I'm talking to my friend back home in Chicago, Tim, your own family hates you. Your own sister and dad and brother are making videos about how bad you suck. You don't have friends back here in Chicago, okay? Cut the crap.
Yeah, I need to know, because I didn't watch the debate. Did he get a soundbite of Emma saying that she supports people showing children porn?
It was the book. It was a children, or not a child. Right. It was not a children's book. It was just a book about gender queer. That book, I believe, is the title of the book. And he said, do you support this being in schools? And all she said was, I don't support banning books.
Right. So his substantive point, apparently, the only purpose of this whole debate was just to get her to say something she doesn't believe in, so he can tell people Emma believes something she doesn't believe in. That's the extent of his mental fortitude. And the point he's there to argue is that Emma believes something she clearly does not. Like this whole thing about leftists are grooming kids. The Majority Report talks about substantive issues on a daily basis. They talk about economic inequality. They talk about corruption in our politics. They cover very important news from an angle that Tim Pool doesn't entertain on his show. And so for him to say the only reason I had you on is for you to talk about the thing that you never talk about and in fact don't believe in tells you everything you need to know about what conservative commentators are there to do. And it's to confuse the public about what's going on in the country and what the left believes, because the left is actually talking about what's going on and what's going wrong in this country. And I don't mean Democrats when I say the left. I mean progressives and I mean leftists, who oftentimes are very offended when they are called Democrats or establishment liberals. So why else would Tim Pool debate somebody but for sound bites? What does Tim Pool bring to the table? Is he one of the great thinkers of our generation that's going to have a profound exchange of ideas? No, of course you're doing this for sound bites. No one's surprised by you saying that, Tim Pool. Come on.